So, I noticed something. I noticed that there's all these famous people quoted in books and movies and even video games. All these famous philosophers, writers, humanitarians, civil rights leaders, scientists, what have you. And I think it's great that they're quoted because what the main purpose of doing that is to share this knowledge of people, their quotes, what they had to say, what it meant, enlighten people. You know, these quotes are supposed to help people out because they're smart. They're from smart people over history. Helps you think, helps you change your life. And while I think that's great and all, I think there's a flip side to that. But the flip side to that, I believe, is that these quotes, they can kind of hypnotize you. They can kind of hypnotize you into thinking that, well, if you don't agree with them, then you're bad. Then you're not smart. Then you need to change yourself. When that really isn't true. Some of these quotes may not be agreeable. I mean, some of these quotes aren't agreeable to everyone, and that doesn't necessarily make you a bad, stupid, unwise person. I just have the feeling, though, that society wants you to agree with these quotes, and that if you don't, people might give you a hard time. It's like, how could you not agree with that? Or, you don't agree with Mark Twain? Or, why not? You know, I mean, I don't think that's right. Another thing I noticed is, well, there's this phrase. I happen to agree with it. But something doesn't feel right about it, though. Or at least, the way people look upon it. It means that you're not entitled to things for free. You're not entitled to material goods. You're not entitled to services. You're not entitled to either of them for free. You gotta work for them. You gotta pay money for them. You gotta do labor for them. The world isn't morally obligated to just give you this stuff. And I agree. For a couple of reasons. One, well, the world owes you a living. That means you owe it a living. You owe people stuff. You owe random strangers material goods and services. Does that feel right? Does that seem fair? Well, no. I mean, you're part of the world, so if it owes you a living, those people who are part of the world, well, you owe it a living. Another reason is, well, pretty unrealistic way to look at life. You can't just go through life going, oh, I want people to give me stuff. Well, that won't work. It just doesn't work that way. Humans don't like to give people stuff for nothing in return. That's why people charge money for things. People are charging money for things because everybody's charging money for things. People want labor. People want money. People want to give. People want to get. And to get, you need to give. So that's reason number 2 why I agree with this phrase. Reason number 3? Well, let's see. If everybody just went through life wanting things and not giving to get, would anyone really get anything? It's like, I want this, I want that. Well, for you to even have these things, don't people have to contribute their labor into making these things for you to want them? For them to even be to provide them to you? Would anything get done? Would anybody contribute to society? You know, there's the better phrase, you give a little, you get a little. You get what you give. The more you give, the more you're gonna get. You hear that? Alright, 3 reasons at least why I agree with this. One more. The world doesn't owe you. No, alright, that was the first reason. The world owes you a living, you will still living, and it seems right. Reason number 1, the world owes you a living, you owe it a living, doesn't seem right. Reason number 2, it's impractical. Reason number 3, nothing will get done. Okay, but that's not the problem. The problem is, well, how do people preach this? How do people look at this? How do people follow this phrase? Well, I don't know. I've seen some pretty nasty articles on the internet about it, like how these authors that agree, these authors of these articles that agree with the phrase, the world doesn't owe you a living. Well, they're pretty mean about it. They're like, those lazy people need to get off their whiny little bratty asses and work for stuff. And I don't like that. I mean, alright, the phrase is true, but do you have to be so mean about it? I mean, really. Lazy people, they can improve themselves, they can change, they can become better people by working. So, I don't see why you have to berate them. And everybody seems to agree with this phrase, which, I don't know, it's a good phrase, but for some reason, on the other hand, I'm worried. On the contrary, I'm worried. I feel like a lot of people just agree with this phrase because they're pressured to do so. Like, if you said, oh, I think people should give me things for free, people would look at you all funny and probably kind of snap at you. Like, how should you be so stupid, or what's wrong with you, you know, that kind of thing. It's also kind of the same with, there's another popular belief. Another popular belief is, it's not the fast food restaurant's fault if the customers get fat. It's purely on the customer. I partially agree. They choose to eat there, but then again, you choose to serve them and take advantage of their bad habits, their gluttony, to make money. I mean, why can't you just be providing good food, healthy and stuff? But a lot of people agree with that phrase in totality, that it's purely their fault, and I feel like people are pressured to believe in that. Like they say, this is a real overused fallacy, at least I find it to be a fallacy, but it probably is considered a fallacy by other people. They use the, well, nobody's putting a gun to your head, making you eat that cheeseburger. Well, true, but should a business take advantage of human stupidity to make money? Well, I don't think so. I think I think people need to be a bit more understanding. I mean, we're not all going to agree with the same thing for different reasons. And I think people should understand them, try to understand people's point of view. Maybe they have a good reason to disagree with you. Maybe they have a bad reason. Just try to be understanding. Don't degrade them for disagreeing with you. Just try to understand. Maybe you can convince them to agree with you. Maybe you can't. Be understanding, at least. Yeah. I already made a video about opinions. Right here. Right there. You can watch that. It's a related video. So, I guess that's all I have to say for this topic. Cacao Ninja things out.